Well then, it's been a long wait, but racing has finally returned. Welcome along round one of the Breakout Racing League Tier 2 Championship ahead of the Season 7 campaign on F1 2021 and the Bahrain Grand Prix. Bahrain gets its name from the Arabic word al-Bahrain, which loosely translates to the two seas. The Kingdom of Bahrain is the smallest country in the Middle East and the third smallest in Asia due to this area of 295 square miles. This is due to the country being originally made up of 33 islands. Well, due to land reclamation, that number is now 84. Let's talk about the circuit then. The Sakir circuit has 15 corners, 6 to the left and 9 to the right, which makes up the track length totally of 5.4 kilometers or 3.4 miles. There are 3 DRS straights, one on the main straight on the run to turn 1, one on the main into turn 4, and finally one on the run to turn 11. This will assist overtaking for the drivers and will definitely give us some entertainment up here to watch. The biggest issue for the drivers in past races was the tires. Well, that will be an issue today. We'll have to figure that one out. The drivers have the C2, the C3, and the C4 tire to their selection, with the C4 being the soft red wool tire, the C3 being the yellow wooled medium tire, which we'll probably see the most of, and the white wooled C2 tire being the hard. The last 2 seasons in Tier 2 have produced some excellent racing here at Bahrain with some incredible finishes. Season 5, we had BRL Neymar, the leader, led from almost lights to flag, who was disqualified at the end of the race. Meanwhile, an excellent charge and a great scrap between the 2 Renaults, bringing out that race main highlight. But Season 6, Sinkaizuro had a 5-second time penalty applied to his race for collision under safety car, which promoted Ritzy Raccoon, our eventual champion, to P1. But then it was taken away from him, given back to Sinkaizuro. Will any of that happen today? Well, there's tons of action, some new faces, returning ones. As you saw, there actually is a little bit of some spinning throughout this lap for Miss Bowman. Not a great, excellent start for him. But who will see and get the best advantage from Tier 2 today? I'm Hank Hatcher, joined alongside LDR Redeemer. Now, Redeemer, like I said, there's a lot of new faces, but there are some returning ones. Who do you think is going to have the best chance to shine the brightest? Will it be a new face, or will it be a returning one, showing how it's done?
I'm going to place my money probably on a returning face, but you never know. Some of the newer faces can also throw in an upset. Tweaking. He was in Tier 5 last season, now in Tier 2. He's a really good driver. Watch out for him tonight. Also, the Biz, there's a lot of guys out here.
Well, you're speaking of tweaking. Tweaking is actually, I believe, the first one on a flying lap. The car in front of him is going to be Holy Cow in the Mercedes. The Ferrari driver, he came close. Did he actually grab the Tier 5 championship a season ago?
No, he was actually in the 3-way fight for the championship with Marlon and Money, and Marlon ended up wrapping it up in Brazil, I believe it was, the final race of the season.
Well, with that being said, then he's going to try to go and try to reclaim and fight for his championship fight. Well, that's not going to start off too well. His lap has been invalidated after a little bit of a half spin at the exit of turn 10. Speaking of a half spin, I believe that is actually going to be Miss Bowman down at turn 10 again. I saw a yellow flag. Not sure exactly if that was him or not.
Yeah, that was Bowman. Draghi is coming through turn 10. Keeps it nice and tidy. He did set a purple sector 1. Obviously, he is the third driver out there doing a lap on these soft compound tires.
That's going to be another thing. We talked about how the tires could actually be an implementation of what the drivers really do. Some say it can be a soft hard. Some say they can easily do a soft medium. Well, a lot of these drivers on the softs with Chunky and with the Biz, both on the mediums so far. The Biz on a flying lap and Chunky on an out lap on those C3 mediums. Will that be playing the case? Will anyone try to qualify on those mediums? We'll see a lot of these drivers on the soft so far. Groggy comes around turn 15. He's going to activate the DRS onto the main straight now. He's going to be our provisional time at 28.1. That's going to be what these guys are going to chase after. Miss Bowman at a 36.9, but he had a little bit of a mistake through turn 10. He's going to try to recuperate on that.
Mozzie's the next person coming through on a flyer. He's going to go P2. Not that far behind Groggy. That's a decent lap.
What is that? 46 milliseconds separates the Alfa Romeo and the Alpine, so that's a close fight up front already.
That is 48 hundredths of a second between the Alpine and the Alfa Romeo. But yeah, close enough. We'll give you 8 for credit. Tweaking is doing another lap on his soft tires. He's going to have a half spin at turn 11. It's at the purple sector 2. Now, as Bowman is left the session. I thought that said retired for a second. One thing I have noticed in the last 2 races, turn 12 can be a really tough corner for these guys if they don't have that downforce just right, as Cowell goes P1. Followed by Tweaking.
Matches him.
Now, Tweaking's almost 5/10 of a second faster than Cowell. Yeah, just over 5/10 of a second. So, gonna be interesting to see if anyone can beat this. You know, Silk Weaver, he's got a decent car. I haven't seen him on track yet, so we'll see if he can battle him.
Let's see, it's going to be a close fight. Groggy Oregano, he improves 27.7 P3 for the Alpine. He still sits, has not advanced his position. We saw Holy Cow, he did grab provisional pole for a couple seconds, but for Tweaking took that away. 27.6 for him with a 27.1 flat for Tweaking. Chunky Snacks is going now into the run into turn 14, which is last final two corners, the penultimate corner and the final corner. On the mediums, the Williams driver is going to see what he can do on those C3s. Like we said, a lot of these drivers are qualified on the softs. DeBiz did a 29.4. Chunky does a 28.7.
No, stream. I believe he is a returning driver from tier. I can't remember what tier he raced in last season, but he is just starting his lap in the other Alfa Romeo turn 1. Going
Yes.
through. Tricky part of the track is 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, in my opinion, because it's really tricky in this game compared to last game, as he's going to do a purple sector 1. As I believe that is Chunky in front of him, Williams.
I believe you're right with that. I'm pretty sure, so far on the grid, I'm not entirely, I'm sure in total of Tier 2, but right now Sweller is the only returning Tier 2 driver on the grid. We've had Silk Weaver from Tier 3, No Limit, I believe, from Tier 4, same with Chunky. Reptile is also, I believe, Tier 4. Groggy Oregano, Tier 4. Tweaking, Tier 5, as you stated. We had a lot of new faces, like Toneless, like Master, like Miss Bowman, like DeBiz, like Mozzie, like Holy Cow. So we'll see what these guys can do. Another purple sector from Sweller in the Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, and another thing, going back on that, DeBiz was actually in Tier 5 in the later part of the season, last season for BRL. So, him being jumped up to Tier 2 is impressive in my mind. As Sweller, what a time from Sweller.
Like I said, returning Tier 2 driver, he knows how to get around qualifying. He had a head-to-head in Season 5 with a couple of drivers. In Season 6, his teammate, Unsighted Port, they had a couple good qualifying runs in the Alpha Tauri team. Sweller could not match his teammate, however. He can see if I can try to, I guess, start off strong. His teammate, Mozzie, P5, 28.1. Sweller does a 26.9.
Thomas is on, the other Ferrari is on mediums, as Silk Weaver is coming through in his McLaren, showing on mediums as well. So Silk Weaver probably doing alternate strategy here. Maybe he's just doing a bank of time, which is what I would recommend to do here. Broken Reptile goes wide, letting everybody by.
Yellow flag, does he, I believe that is actually
that would be
Ferrari.
Tweaking, I believe, in his outlap.
I believe he let someone by.
Yeah,
That was the
he
cause
let
of the yellow flag.
Silk Weaver and I believe Mozzie by, as he's still letting cars by. Silk
So
Weaver
far,
did
some of these
the
drivers. You go ahead.
Silk
I'm gonna
Weaver
actually
did
invite
set
Wreath.
a purple sector 1, didn't set a purple sector 2. As Toneless Death is going to come across the line, he is going to go P5, the highest medium runner, Silk Weaver.
Well, a lot of these drivers bolted on the softs, but they've actually some drivers have put the mediums on.
The Silk Weaver is going to go ahead of Toneless Death with a 27.7.
I believe I saw another couple of the other drivers. I believe Holy Cow was one of them. Yes, he's bolted on the mediums as well.
Interesting strategy call there, but Tweaking is on fire at the moment. See if he can improve. He just needs, I think, 2/10 of a second to get back P1 as he's going to get a little swirly coming out of turn 1, 2. Coming up through to turn number 4. He's clean. Coming into the tricky S section, he has not improved on his stock sector 1 on this lap. Coming into the braking zone, doesn't lock up that right front tire. Coming into the tricky downhill, turn 9 and 10, will he lock it up? He does a little bit on my end. Very good exit. As there's Silkweaver ahead of him, letting by the Biz, who is on the lap as well.
I believe the next swap is going to be an Alfa Romeo. That is going to be Mozzie.
Tweaking is up 0.3 of a second on his time through sector 2. Did get a purple.
Mozzie crosses the line. Sorry, Mozzie crosses the line. He goes to P3. Tweaking goes P2, 27. He improved by exactly a second, by the way. Actually, I think someone got his lap time deleted. Tweaking goes provisional pole.
As the Biz goes P3.
That's what it was. It looks like someone's lap time was deleted, but it was just DeBiz moving up to P3, 27.118, and Tweaking goes provisional pole, 26.780.
Let's see. Groggy, is he on an end lap, or is he doing... No, he's finishing a lap, and he is going to improve the P4, as Broken Reptile is on a set of medium compound tires. Followed closely behind SSR Wraith, but he is invalidated. As Reptile did 53.8.
Yellow flag, a lot of shenanigans going on in the, I guess, the back straight. Some drivers letting others by. Looks like DeBiz is right up close to the back of one of the, I believe that is an Alfa Romeo.
Nope,
Could
that
be
is
wrong.
DeBiz and Tweaking. Going through turn 12 and 13.
Those two
Tweaking is not on another lap. I read that wrong.
A little bit of shenanigans here.
Yeah, very much so. This is Groggy's invalidated. Mozzie, I believe, is coming in. Holy cow! I think is on an in-lap. Which he is.
From what I saw, as I kind of swept through upward to DeBiz, Wraith got a purple sector 1 in the Red Bull. If that is true, he could be on for a flyer. Wraith from tier 3 a season ago could possibly have something for these top guys with DeBiz, Sweller, and Tweaking. Even put Groggy and Mozzie up in that list. I just want to point out, from 4th to 6th, actually including 7th as well from Silkweaver, those guys are all separated by about 2/10 or so. Silkweaver on those mediums, though. That is going to be a good lap from Chunky, I believe, goes up to P4.
Oh, Wraith right now coming through the final corners. He did set a purple sector 2. He's going to cross the line. He is going to go provisional pole.
3/10, 26.493 for the Red Bull.
Now, Master Plan and No Limit are both on mediums. The only two drivers to not set a lap, as Silkweaver is in the pits, I believe. I thought he was out. The Swellish team is going back out on an outlap on another set of softs to see if he can improve.
So then, about 3 minutes left in qualifying. Hopefully it is synced up for us and the drivers as well. They're going to be... Master Plan is going up to start his flying lap in a second on the medium compounded tire. Sweller is going to start his flying lap after him in the Alfa Romeo. He is on the soft tire, I believe. The McLaren, I believe, of No Limit is going to be behind him with the, I believe that is the Williams of Chunky behind him. Actually, it may be Groggy in the Alpine with Chunky behind him. So all going through this last sector.
That is Chunky in the Williams behind No Limit. Coming into the pits, followed by SSR Wraith, who's... Okay, I didn't see that. There's now a car part coming through turns. Those drivers did stay out of the way.
The Aston Martin going through turn 13 in the second the third and final DRS straight for the lap. On the mediums, this is going to be pretty much all or nothing for the Aston Martin driver, P14 at the moment. About less than 2 minutes to go in the session, so is there enough fuel for 2 laps? If not, it's going to be a one-hit wonder for the Aston Martin on the medium tire. Behind him, that's going to be yellow flag in Sector 1. I believe someone is out of qualifying. Yes, it is. Broken Reptile. Tires in the pit lane, I believe so. Going through 14 and 15 for the Aston Martin. About 1 minute and 32 seconds left. That means Wraith is out of qualifying. That means Chunky Snacks and Mist Bowman are out of qualifying. Masterplane goes up to P11, 28-1. Going to be behind him. Sweller, is that going to improve at all? No, it's not. It's going to be No Limit behind him. And the McLaren, is that going to be improvement? That is going to be a 27-7. Matches his teammate just slightly. 10 milliseconds. Behind him, I believe Holy Cow is going to start his flying lap. Behind him is going to be the Ferrari of Toneless Death. He's going to start his flying lap. Behind him, DeBiz in the Haas is going to start his flying lap. Going through turn 12 now is going to be the other McLaren of Silkweaver. He's going to start his flying lap. Behind him, I believe, is going to be Mozzie in the Alfa Romeo.
Chunky might just flying lap right now. He's coming through sector 2. He may not make it with 40 seconds remaining. If he does, that'd be impressive.
It's going to be close.
There's a lot of what's happening right now is Silkweaver coming through on his flying lap on those soft compound tires, as Tom Steph is doing the same thing.
Groggy's off. Turn 12. That's going to be his challenge over for qualifying. The Alpine's done. Looks like Wraith has enough time. Maybe.
Holy Cow was spun. Exit to turn 11.
As he made it to the flag, Wraith is going to be close. He barely missed it. Wraith is out. That's going to be his challenge done. That's going to be, I believe, a car behind him pitting. That's going to be Masterplane. He's going to be done as well. Sweller Steam is going to go out of the final corner. He's off on a flying lap. He's done. He cannot compete. Tweaking's out too. DeBiz is going to be only flyer. Is he going to have enough time? Is he going to have enough time in the pocket to grab for the Haas? Can he grab a provisional pole away from Wraith? He needs about 7/10 of a second. Sweller retires to the pit lane. It's going to be his qualifying challenge done. DeBiz in the Haas. Can he get there? No, he cannot. 27-0. Barely gets ahead.
Silkweaver's up 7/10 on his time through sector 2. Does he have enough in this McLaren to challenge for P1?
We'll figure it out. Silkweaver has quite the illustrious history in Tier 3 a season ago. Can he grab pole position in his first start? He did it in Tier 3. He cannot. 26-7, I'm sorry, P3 for the McLaren driver. That's going to be only leading Mozzie.
He's not going to improve.
And pits for good measure. That's it for qualifying. SSR Wraith in the Red Bull grabs pole position ahead of Sweller Steam in the Alfa Romeo. Silkweaver is going to be third in the McLaren, Tweaking fourth in the Ferrari, DeBiz fifth in the Haas, sixth of Chunky in the Williams, Groggy in seventh in the Alpine, eighth Mozzie in the Alfa Romeo, Cowell in the Mercedes rounds in ninth with No Limit and rounds the top 10, which these guys in the top 10 have to start on the tires they qualified on, and those will be all on the softs except for No Limit in the McLaren on the mediums. Toneless in the other Ferrari qualifies 11th on the medium tire. He's going to have the first choice of tire, and the guys who have not, those four behind him, have free choice of tire for the race. Masterplane is going to be P12, Mist Bowman P13 with Broken Reptile rounding out the grid. Well, I guess we were wrong. I mean, technically not wrong. Some of these returning drivers have actually improved and shown that they can do it, but not exactly what I meant. I thought we were going to see some Tier 2 drivers showing up their pace. Well, turns out Wraith and Silkweaver, both some Tier 3 drivers from a season ago, they've showed what they can do so far. 2 in the top 3. Sweller from Tier 2 a season ago, tweaking up and showing well in the Ferrari. P4 for him to Biz in the other Ferrari-powered car, Haas. A lot of Ferrari-powered cars in the top 10, though. That's one thing I've noticed. Mazzi in the Alfa Romeo, both Alfa Romeos in, one Ferrari in, one Haas in, with only one other Ferrari-powered car on the grid.
Kind of keeps it interesting, though, if you think about it. It brings you back to 2019 when Ferrari was actually competing for the top step and the top 3 steps, actually, on the podium. Can't wait for those days to happen again. Anyways, waiting for everyone to get their strategies correctly. One thing I have noticed in the last 2 streams is people are pitting on roughly the lap that they need to throw on the hards for the mediums. Now, granted, there has been a safety car to help them save their tires. Do you think we'll see the same thing here tonight?
We could. It's very plausible that we could possibly see some guys stretching from a soft to a medium, or maybe a medium to a soft. It really depends on how the first opening laps go. If we have a safety car in the first 3 laps, I suggest that a lot of these guys are probably going to go on the hards. It's going to hurt the medium runners, but there's not really much they can do about it. So it's going to see, I'm thinking more so it's going to be more people are going to be on the soft, hard strategy. If we do see a lot of soft mediums, it's going to be a stretch, but it's possible.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing, too. If there's not a safety car, and some guys do pit for soft and medium, their tires are going to be crying at the end of the race.
Well, according to what we've said, the top 9 have to start on the softs, and 10th No Limit is going to have to be forced on the mediums, but everyone outside the top 10, Toneless, Master, Mist, Bowman, and Broken Reptile, all choose the medium compound, the C3, so that is probably either going to be doing a medium hard or a medium soft. You have to use 2 of the 3 available compounded tires per Grand Prix, so we'll see what they can do. We're going to try to do a risky strategy with a soft, going a final soft stint, or we're going to do a safer strategy with the medium. Well then, first formation lap of Season 7 for Tier 2. It's been quite a long while, but we're finally back for Tier 2, and it's going to be a long-awaited arrival. Some of these guys are going to be trying to prove their worth. Some of these guys are not actually new to Tier 2. For example, Groggy in Season 5 raced at Abu Dhabi. He had a good showing there. I believe he got 14th or 13th or so. He was in the Red Bull. Now he's in the Alpine. We'll see what he can do there. Like I said, Silkweaver, him and Wraith both alike have actually had some very, very good qualifying performances in Tier 3 a season ago, and this shows how well their pace is so far. Wraith P1, Silkweaver P3. It's going to be interesting to see some of these guys like Sweller, like Tweaking, like DeBiz. What can they do against these guys? But most importantly, No Limit on back is on these harder tires. They're going to be on the mediums compared to everyone else on the softs. How will that strategy play into factor? We have 29 laps at Bahrain, and it's going to be 15 corners a lap. We have tons of opportunities for not only overtakes, but incidents. Hopefully we don't see a lot of those today.
Well, in the last races, I believe there was combined in the last 2 races for Tier 2 or Tier 3 and Tier 4. Also, one thing to point out, SSR Wraith does not have a helmet on his bull. I know that's a glitch in the game when the driver joins in late. Anyways, it's going to be interesting to see what kind of starts these guys can get. Like Sweller, Silkweaver, can they challenge Wraith in turn 1 off of the start? Same thing to be said for Tweaking, maybe DeBiz. It didn't get interesting here with pretty much the top 9 running against on the softs, and then everyone else, I believe, Mist Bowman is at our session. I should send him another invite, as I cannot.
Broken Reptile in P14, the Mercedes, will pull up to his last slot on the grid ahead of the Bahrain Grand Prix for Tier 2 in Season 7 of the Breakout Racing League. The anticipation is growing, the drivers are anxious, and it's finally time to look to the lights and see what they can do. The lights are on, and it's 5 red lights. And it's lights out, and away we go. Tentative start, but a great start from Wraith. He's already going to be alongside and through. But look at the McLaren of Silkweaver. He's going to be alongside and pass going to turn 1. His front wing ahead of the Alfa Romeo of Sweller's team. That's going to be the Ferrari of Tweaking. He's going to look around the outside. DeBiz is going to look for it. He's not going to have it. The McLaren is going to fight through on the inside of turn 2. Sweller's going to try to fight for it. He's going to be side by side with Tweaking going into turn 4. Side by side, the 2 Ferrari-powered cars. The Ferrari breaks later. Tweaking goes around the outside. He has contact, and around he goes. A little bit of contact with the front wing and the rear wing. Going to be some damage. A little bit more contact with No Limit. He's up a couple positions, up 4 positions to be exact, on those medium compounded tire. Groggy gets past DeBiz going into turn 8. A little bit deep, Haas wheel. No Limit gets a little bit squirrely on the exit of 8. He's going to go down to turn 9 and 10. Side by side, the Haas and the Alpine. The Alpine's going to run it around the outside of DeBiz. He cannot have enough space. He's going to get a better exit, from the Haas, and he's going to get ahead. And what a crazy start that's been. And look at No Limit. He's up 5 positions on those mediums.
Yeah, really crazy opening lap. Like I said, anything can happen on this opening lap, as No Limit is going to get Groggy already into P4 on the lap 1. And I don't believe the Biz has any wing damage after that contact with Tweaking into turn 1.
Maybe you're right.
I didn't
Up
see
the
any.
inside, Chunky goes. Master Plan gets past. 3 wide on the front straightaway like it was a season ago. Tweaking to Biz and Groggy. Master Plan gets past. Holy cow, going into turn 1 as well. Late braking for the Aston Martin. Looks like the medium runners have just better tires at the moment. Look at No Limit. He's up to P4. Master Plan's up to P8. Toneless is still stays in P11. But what a crazy start. Look at this. Going into turn 4. Tweaking into Biz again. Tweaking. Cutting it close with the front wheel of another Ferrari-powered car. This time it's the Haas of DeBiz. Side by side into turn 5. Oh, contact again. DeBiz saves it. Overcorrects off the track. Has to run onto the exit. Run off. Looks like he's fine. Oh, he's not. He's in the gravel trap.
That was some really tough racing between those. Neither one of them wanted to give an inch. Silkweaver almost loses it coming out turn 10.
1.2 seconds the gap so far.
Goes off in turn 10, loses a couple of positions.
See some of these drivers, what they can do, but the DRS is going to be enabled this lap. It's going to be activated, available to be activated. Oh, a little bit squirrely from Sweller on the exit of turn 12. Be careful with that. Like I said, DRS is going to be activated this time. Bayern going to use it on the run into turn 4. 1.3 seconds the gap between Wraith and Silkweaver. He's not going to have that available of the drag reduction system. It's not going to be active for that McLaren. But guess who does have it? Master Plan has it. Holy Cow has it. Groggy Oregano and Chunky Snags and Toneless Death and Mozzie, all those drivers have it. They're going to be in that DRS train from Tweaking on back. Tweaking may have front wing damage from lap 1, turn 4. Chunky and Groggy go wheel to wheel into turn 1 side by side. Looks like the wheeling's going to go down the inside. Later braking from the Alpine. Around the outside of turn 1 they go. Groggy's going to kind of hold it into turn 2 and will keep the hold of position. But here comes Toneless Death. He's not going for it. He's going to go around the outside of the Williams. He's going to have to try to do the DRS from the Alpine into turn 4. He's going to down the inside of the Alpine on the mediums. He's going to try to go for it. Toneless has the upper hand right now going into turn 5 and 6. Yellow flag again. Looks like it is going to be Chunky Snags. And Toneless has to sit behind in P9.
As Brooklyn Reptile spins in the same corner.
So Reptile and Chunky Snags both spin around at turn 4. That looks like the trouble spot so far.
No, like you were saying, Tweaking has got to be aware of P6 and P7 both behind him on soft tires. And you might be right with Tweaking having to nurse some wing damage, because it does not look like he has a whole lot of front end on that Ferrari car at the moment, as he is chasing down No Limit, as Reptile is still having issues in turn 10. Steph is going to get past Groggy.
See, the DRS is now active for the Aston Martin. Tweaking, braking that toe, pulling to the right, keeping that slipstream away from the Aston Martin. It's not going to matter with some slipstream, with some DRS and some ERS deployment. The Aston Martin goes way around and cleanly through into turn 1 ahead of the Ferrari of Tweaking. Tweaking is struggling right now, but he's going to have a better exit from turn 2 and 3. But this time he has the DRS on the Will he try to send it up the inside? Master goes a little bit defensive. Tweaking tries to go around the outside again, locks up the fronts and I believe the rears as well, but he's not going to be close enough to go around the outside of the Aston Martin in turn 4 that time.
And while all that was happening, Mozzie was looking for a move from turn 1 all the way to turn 4 on Thomas' death, but Thomas held it off very nicely. As Silkweaver has gotten closer to Silkweaver. When I checked last lap, that gap was 1.4 seconds. Well, Silkweaver is catching SSR Wraith in P1 at the moment.
It appears to be that. I believe he gained about 5/10 over the last lap. He was 1.3 or so. Now he's within 8/10. He's going to have the DRS this time by. The ERS for the McLaren looks a little bit less than the Red Bull, so he's pushing a little bit more using that ERS electrical deployment. But Wraith is trying to use all he has to get it out of the DRS zone, but it's not going to be available for this time. Silkweaver's going to have it, but for how long?
Yeah, Wraith is just trying to get away from Silkweaver and break that toe that Silkweaver has coming into turn number 1. And Silkweaver doesn't have to worry about Sweller behind with a 3.8 second gap, and then No Limit 3.5 back to him. As Tweaking is pitting for a new front wing and a set of medium compound tires.
So we were right. He does have a bit of front wing damage on that Ferrari. That's going to definitely stint his race. He's going to have to do about 24, maybe
down
laps
the
on those
inside
mediums.
of turn 4 of Thomas' death. He's going to get done. Is Thomas going to fight back? They're going to go side by side as Mozzie's going to back out of the move. Very slowly as he ran very wide into turn number 7, I believe it is. He's probably shocked away from this fight.
Yes, he has. Looks like everyone's starting to spread out a bit. Silkweaver's now out of the DRS again from Wraith. Looks like it may have been that one push lap or nothing. Yellow flag, I believe that is Silkweaver.
No. Wonder if he just
takes it to turn
lost
13.
the rear end of that McLaren.
Cuts the corner as well. He may have actually gotten a warning from that. But look at that. Look at I said. No Limit, his teammate, is on mediums up to P3, up 7 positions from the start. Let's go look at that for a second, actually. The positions gained, up 7 positions, like I said, with No Limit in the McLaren. Up 7 for Masterplane in the Aston Martin. But it looks like the McLaren is going to duel down into turn 1. Silkweaver is going to look, but not going to be close enough to make a move down in turn 1. Down 6 positions for both
Mozzie is
the
going to look for a move on the inside of Toneless now into turn 1. He's going to get well past him into turn 1. He's got to worry. Toneless is going to fight him back in turn 4 with DRS. As he does not open his DRS to get past Mozzie going into turn 4 is Toneless.
They may have been equal at the detection point, so none of them had DRS. That could have been why. This race has opened up for SSR Wraith and the Red Bull, 5.6 seconds ahead of Sweller's team in the Alfa Romeo, 3.6 ahead of the two the two McLarens in front, encasing this battle. The Aston Martin and Masterplane behind him. Holy cow is now in this mix with all these 4 drivers behind and using the DRS train of each other.
Yeah, I didn't even notice it, but Masterplane is also on mediums in P5. So
Yes,
this could be a battle between Masterplane and No Limit. But at the minute, it looks like No Limit is controlling this top medium pace. And Silkweaver is doing an excellent job sitting behind No Limit as well at the moment.
That's what I'm concerned about for the battle for the McLarens, because here, I mean, Silkweaver, his tires are going to start falling off now with the softs about lap 7, plus that spin on the entry of turn 13, and that's going to be DeBiz pitting, and the Haas.
I actually shall check to see if Silkweaver got a... He did not get a warning for cutting the corner on that last lap.
That's good. Yellow flag again. That looks like it may be Wraith. No, it's not. Reptile. It's going to be Broken Reptile. looking at the stops. The only drivers to make a stop, Tweaking, DeBiz, and Reptile. So it looks like if Tweaking can make it to the end, he can stretch it. This yellow flag again, that may be a Reptile again, but Chunky and Miss Bowman switches positions. I believe in the exit of turn 10. Actually, no, they're side by side through turn 10. I was wrong. Here comes Chunky with DRS. Miss Bowman is not in the lobby as moment. You can see he's ghosted. But Chunky Snags gets up into P10 regardless.
As
these guys have gotten closer.
10 second penalty as Wraith is in the pits. He's going to bolt on a set of mediums, but he is going to stretch. He's not do a 2-stop.
Let's see, the undercut's pretty powerful here. It was 5.6 or so to Sweller. So we'll have to see when Sweller comes in the box what that gap looks like now. Master Plane is a little bit far behind Silk Weaver as he had a little bit of a compromised exit. Broken Reptile has retired from the Grand Prix in the pit lane. It's unfortunate for the mistake.
This is also... what is Silk Weaver going to do? Is he going to box with Sweller, or is he going to box the lap after? Or so, you know... He's only 3.3 seconds roughly off of Sweller's stream in P3.
Yellow flag, looks like it may have been DeBiz, or actually I think it's Reptile's car coming out of the pit lane.
It's probably Cal is closing on Master Plane right now in P5. Or does Sweller see if he decides to pit this lap or if he stays out.
See the Alfa Romeo leading by 2.9 as the gap's closing pretty rapidly to no. Going to look a little bit faster than those soft right now. Sweller stays out another lap. That's going to hurt him. That's going to hurt him with the undercut. Silkweaver is going to go about probably the same thing, matching Sweller, same thing with Holy Cow and Mozzie. All of those drivers have stayed out. Groggy Oregano and the Alpine have come into pit, and they're probably going to go and box on the mediums as well. No, actually, that's going to be the C2 hards for the Alpine.
That's going to clear Mozzie before turn number 4. Yeah, like, he at the gap to leader at the moment. If Sweller pit, he's going to come out well behind SSR Wraith. So, Sweller is going to come out in P8, and Silkweaver is going to come out in P8 as well. If they pit the same lap or if they pit opposite, Silkweaver is his teammate.
That's going to hurt him come turn 1 and the run down to the turn 1 on the main straight if he stays out for that extra lap, which I don't think he should. He's going to lose an extra amount of time that is not necessarily needed. No Limit has gained about a second this lap so far on Sweller's team. The mediums are clearly shifted on. The softs are past their prime.
Yes, he lost a lot of time to Master Plane right now. Master Plane is all over his gearbox. His Sweller stream is going to pit. Silkweaver is going to follow him in. Holy Cow is going to stay out there another lap on these soft tires. As Groggy actually sit on hard compound tires.
Fastest lap, SSR Wraith in the Red Bull shows how far and how hard he has pushed Sweller's team on the C2 hard compound tire. Sweller bolts on the medium, so that's now the second driver puts on the white rolled hards.
This is going to be close between Sweller and Chunky. But Chunky's also on those older C4 soft compound tires. His tires are going to be crying.
Wraith has gained about 5 seconds or so on the leader. He's now up to 8.7. This is without him, with him stopping. Wraith is pretty much lighting the field ablaze at the moment. His next car up in front of him, Mozzie, in the Alfa Romeo on those older softs. It's 8 laps different between the Red Bull and the Alfa Romeo. Everyone in front of him has yet to stop. Sweller is about 12 seconds behind the Red Bull. Look how far that undercut has worked for the Red Bull driver.
You can just see the pace difference between Mozzie and Wraith. Wraith was 1.1 seconds coming out of turn 10. Going down the straight, he dropped that gap to 0.4 of a second. Now he's all over the gearbox of Mozzie. Coming into turn 14 and 15.
Mozzie went a
Holy
little
cow,
bit
is going to pit.
defensive. Speeding in the pit lane, that's not going to help his case.
That's insult the injury. You've done all the work, and when you come into box and you get that penalty, that hurts. Well, there's gonna
So everyone in the top 4. Ooh, that's actually a wing change. I think a wing change for Mozzie? I swear I saw like a wing change.
I don't believe so, because that was a fast wing change if I've ever seen one.
Everyone in the top 4 is on the mediums.
Chunky is 10 lap in on these soft compound tires, so must be he still has pace. I don't know how he hasn't lost it yet. But really well done from him.
But I believe Chunky is also the same guy that took mediums about 30-something laps at Holland. I believe, last season. So I'm not surprised to see him go long on these soft tires. He may come in the next couple of laps, bolt on those mediums. He's going to have the freshest tires. That'll be, I believe, a penalty. I believe that could be for DeBiz.
Yeah, but if you run on board with Chunky, you can see the wear on his tires, that darker inside line on both of his front compounds. See it on his rear tires as well, that they're just dying at the moment. His Wraith sets another fastest lap. As there's about for
Masterplane's actually
P1.
overtaken.
Doma is going to have DRS coming back into turn 4. Is he going to try to fight Masterplane back? Oh, he's going to think better of it and sit right behind him. His plane is going to lock up into turn number 1. Or turn 4. Sorry.
Chunky Snags does pit off those soft compound tires. I'm guessing it's going to be a medium set for the Williams driver in P12 now. Yes, it is. I was correct with that. He's going to go to the end of the Grand Prix. Everyone has pretty much done their stop except for Bowman and Knight. And everyone in the top 3. The rest can physically make it to the end if they stretch it long enough. It's going to be a tall order for tweaking, but it could be done.
Yeah, he's down in 7th right now, so he is going to get, I believe, ahead of guys in first, second, and third when they do pit. But he's going to have to be careful of those tires and not to use them up too quickly in his stint.
That also could be said the same for SSR Wraith, who once again has got a purple second sector. He's pushing as hard as he can now, but is that going to be taking all the life out of those mediums? He still has to go another 17 or so laps. He's going to be already on the back of Toneless Death in the Ferrari. He's gained about 2.4 on Spoiler behind. Now he's going to be just to the right-hand side with DRS, cleanly past the Ferrari.
That was a very late move to pull out from the back of the Ferrari, but he gets it done. As Squeaver is slowly closing in on Sweller's stream. Sweller might be having some tire warm-up issues in these hard compound tires.
That could be the case. The hard tires are a little bit difficult to warm up as they are the longest duration of tire. They can go the longest. However, this also means that on the warm-up phase, they are the hardest to warm up. Silkweaver's tires are probably already up in that phase with the softer compound with the medium tire compared to the hards. We'll have to see how fast that changes over the course of this stint. Silkweaver could be on the charge the later half of this stint.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. Can Wraith take these tires to the end? And the same thing for Squeaver, Tweaking, and Mozzie. Sweller can definitely make it. Holy cow, he does have that 5-second time penalty to keep in mind.
It's going to be a setback for him, the Mercedes, but it's going to be one that he has to put behind him. The best thing to do is charge as fast as you can and get as high as you can.
From his medium compound tires, I think he's going to get a 5-second
speeding in the pit
penalty.
lane.
He is probably bolting on a set of hards, which he is. He's going to the end on this. So can No Limit stretch out these mediums and possibly bolt on a set of softs?
I can see it.
As
This
there's a
yellow
spin
flag,
of
that is going to be
Groggy,
Groggy. Big crash.
and there's a safety
Entry
car.
turn 13. Safety car.
Now,
In the last 3 races in Bahrain, there has been 1 safety car. Well, that makes it 2 now.
so now this helps No Limit because he has yet to pit, and same thing with Toneless Death. As the Biz is pitting, I believe he is going to throw on a set of hard compound tires, as he is, along with Bowman.
Well, this
So now No
hurts
Limit
Wraith,
and Toneless
however.
Death, yes, but Wraith can also preserve his tires along with Tweaking and Silkweaver, and go to
He can.
the end on these tires.
Here's the problem, because he probably could have done that already, but now he no longer has a 18-second gap to Silkweaver and Swellersteam. He has roughly 2/10 by the safety car restart. So Wraith is going to have to be on this charge. If he has taken all the life out of those mediums, he needs to be careful now.
Yeah, and that's the thing too. You know, you got to be really careful on when you want to use these tires, how you want to use them, because this track is just so abrasive.
No Limit and Wraith comes in to stop. Oh, Wraith almost collides in the back of the McLaren going into the pit lane. That would have been traffic for his race. Toneless follows him in as well. Sweller is most likely going to stay out.
No
onto
Limit
those
is
hards,
going onto
and
the
we'll see.
softs.
It's going to be a tall order. He could try to stretch it. Swellersteam comes in. Silkweaver goes in as well. Master Plane stays out. Tweaking comes in.
Is
Cowell
No Limit-
stays out.
Oh, hang on. Toneless Death put on another set of mediums, so he is definitely going to have to box again. No Limit might be able to make it, but as you said, that is a tall order. Wraith is going to make it. Master Plane is fine. As Weller's Steam has pit again. Silkweaver pitted again.
Everyone in the
Talk
field
about a
pretty much
curveball I
has
have never
is
seen
fresh
before.
tires. What?
Oh, this pit strategy, the curveball.
Yeah, that is a curveball indeed. Sweller and No Limit have to take their tires plus or minus 14 laps on those softs. It's going to be a tall order indeed. But as the Aston Martin Vantage safety car picks up the field, they're going to be waiting on the likes of the McLaren, the Ferrari, the Williams, the Haas, and the Alpha Tauri before they can all bunch up and let her out and going again. It's been about halfway, and we've lost 2 drivers already. Broken Reptile and Groggy Oregano. Broken Reptile retired in the pit lane. Groggy Oregano crashed on the entry of turn 13 about a lap ago. It was actually a big incident, I believe, from what I saw. It may have been lost control at the exit of turn 12 and escalated into the wall, losing his right front tire and severing the tether. As you can see, the tire marks actually underneath Broken Reptile's name right there a second ago into the barrier. So that is exactly what happened for the Alpine, ending his race.
Yeah, it can confirm that it was what he said in the tier chat. Just lost all grip into turn number 12.
Safety car will go in next time by, as all drivers have actually caught up to the pack. So there's going to be one more lap. It's going to be lap 16 going on to lap 17. So they'll have about 13 laps to settle out the last one and the last stint of this race. No Limit on those softs. Same with Silkweaver. Those two are going to be quick. But how long will they be quick for? Will those softs be able to make it for 13 laps? Miss Bowman, DeBiz, Holy Cow, and Master Plane all on those hards. They can make it to the end, sure, but how are their tires going to switch on? Because these tires are going to be cold. They're going to be brutal to warm up. Can they get them hot enough so they can have a little bit of performance in them? Wraith on those fresh mediums. He's quick. He's shown it so far today, leading a majority of the laps so far. He's going to have a big opportunity. He needs to get past No Limit as quick as possible. Toneless Death also on those mediums. He started P11. He's up 7 positions on the Ferrari. He's ahead of his teammate. If you would have said this after qualifying that Tweaking was going to be the second Ferrari, I would not have believed you. But Toneless Death has been quietly moving his way up. He's to P4. Mozzie and Sweller, both Alfa Romeos. They're next to each other, both on relatively fresh mediums. Chunky Snags ran out the top 10 with the Biz behind him after what happened at turn 4 for a couple of these drivers, including Chunky Snags. DeBiz had a up and down race so far. He wants to regain control of it. And Miss Bowman is still not in the lobby still.
Yeah, I had to take a drink of water. Gotta stay hydrated during these races. Always the thing to remember. Chat, remember that. Yeah, like you were saying, it definitely interesting because a lot of these drivers that spun or had issues in the opening stints, they're now back into this GP.
Safety car is in this lap. The lights are off on those Aston Martin green safety car.
And I'm going to throw this out there. The guys on the hards, like Plain, Holy Cow, the Biz, you know, they're going to have a hard time warming up those hard compound tires when they get going.
Let's see, we've seen a lot of drivers make mistakes when their tires are colder. We'll see what happens there. The drivers are weaving to get the temperature of the tires. Wraith was going the majority of the track, almost collided into No Limit. Remember, a season ago, a Red Bull was what won the race. Wraith is getting on, and No Limit goes. Great start from Wraith. He's already alongside, or I'm sorry, up the gearbox. He's going to try to go alongside into turn 1. He goes to the right-hand side. The McLaren pinches him into turn 1, but he's going to go later on the brakes. The McLaren goes around the outside of Wraith in the Red Bull, and he's going to hold on. So far, those softs are definitely to advantage of No Limit right now.
As both the Alfa Romeos went side by side, Sweller got the move on Mozzie, as Mozzie's going to lose 3 positions into turn number 1.
Sorry to cut in. Wraith is going to go around the inside and actually pass No Limit into turn 4. That's what he needed exactly. A little bit of contact, but all good for those two in the top 2. No Limit is not letting Wraith breathe. He's right on the gearbox of that Red Bull. He's going to try to look for a move. Remember, Masterplane has that 5-second time penalty. He did not stop. He did not serve it. So that's going to be detrimental so far to his Wraith. No Limit with a better exit out of turn 10. He's going to go side by side again with the Red Bull into turn 11. Will he go around the outside for it? He's got it. McLaren gets back up into the lead. No Limit ahead of the Red Bull of SSR Wraith.
And Holy Cow was holding pits, so 2 drivers holding penalties from speeding in the pit lane. Silkweaver is all over the back of Sweller's stream coming down into the final couple of corners. He is not going to look for a move. His Tweaking is going to pick up the penalty.
DRS will be enabled next time by not this lap, but the next one. We'll see. Right now, it looks like Wraith doesn't need him. No Limit is going to try to break the toe as best he can, but it's not going to be enough. Wraith is going to already along side by side, a little bit of wheel banging into the braking zone, but Wraith's going to go a little bit deep. Has he gone too deep? Yes, he has. That's going to be No Limit back up into the top spot and ahead of Wraith in the Red Bull. Holy Cow gets past Silkweaver. Silkweaver's going to go to fight back against the Mercedes driver side by side into turn 4, but he's going to be ahead. Holy Cow's actually been overtaken by Tweaking. Tweaking's going around the outside. What an aggressive move for the Ferrari that didn't work in the beginning laps, but it looks like he's trying to go for it now.
Yeah, and Silkweaver and Sweller Stream are both working together as team orders, even though they're not on the same team. They're following each other, doing what the driver head does is Silkweaver. And we see Silkweaver make a move stream in the finals with 12 laps to go.
We could, it's possible. Those softs may die out by now, but we'll see how it works out the rest of this stint. No Limit has dropped Wraith a bit. 0.8 is the gap between first and second. 1.6 the gap between third and second as well. So it's going to be now with DRS activated this time by Toneless, Sweller, Silkweaver, and Tweaking. All will grab DRS from Masterplane. But Mozzie and Chunky and DeBiz will grab DRS from Holy Cow. So it's going to be 2 separate DRS train battles going across the field. We'll see how it works. Fastest lap goes to No Limit and McLaren.
Is closing in on Swellerstream, was using ERS. He's going to look for a move on the inside before turn 1. He's going to break late. He's going to get the move done. Can Sweller get the switchback? No. Silkweaver's going to get the better exit coming out of turn number 3 with DRS at almost death ahead as holy cow is spun.
Exit of turn 3.
Yeah, I think Master Plane, he's going to have to fend for these guys as Tweaking is spun on the exit at turn number 7 or 8. I don't know which corner this is as he's having a lot of issues trying to get that Ferrari under control right now.
Yep, in the gravel trap at turn 7. Luckily, holy cow goes past and Tweaking was ghosted, or that would have been a colossal collision. Tweaking now gets back going again. It's been an up and down race, mostly down for the Ferrari. Drifting through turn 8 goes Tweaking.
And Thomas Death right now, he is hunting down 3 of Master Plane. He's trying to hold that position from Thomas Death right now. He wants this podium. Question is, can he hold out for another 11 laps?
It's possible, but how well will Master Plane react to it? The battle for the lead could be kicking off as well. 4/10 of a second. Wraith is not going to use the overtake button yet. He has the DRS. He has the slipstream for the McLaren. Will he be close enough? The softs versus the mediums. The Red Bull versus the McLaren. Red Bull versus Honda. Down the inside of turn 1 he goes. Late braking from the Red Bull, but on the outside again goes the McLaren. He's going to hold on into turn 2. Master Plane is now fighting off Toneless Death. Toneless Death on the inside of turn 2. Side by side off of 2. The exit of
Silkweaver's going to get an excellent run. Sorry to barge in. He's going to look for a move on turn 4. And Silkweaver's going to get it. And get the better exit. No, he's going to do a little bump on the Aston Martin. And Master Plane is going to lose a position or 2 because of that. So both McLarens now in P1 and P3.
That's exactly what Wraith didn't want to see. Silkweaver now has fresh, clean track with those softs to go chase down the Red Bull and his teammate of No Limit. There's going to be about 9 laps to go this time by for these drivers to hold on. It could be close. The soft runners could make it. Sweller gets past the Aston Martin of Master Plane into P5. That makes it the second Ferrari driver in the top 5, following Toneless Death in the Ferrari.
The question is, does Silkweaver have enough tire life in his softs to catch up to SR Wraith, or did he use most of it trying to get through that field in those first couple of laps after the safety car?
It's going to be interesting to see. 9 laps to go. So inside 10, it's going to be now or never for some of these drivers. The aggression will turn up to 11. Some of these drivers' strategies is now going to be playing into everyone's cards. See what they have. Chunky gets past Mozzie for P7. But what I'm going to say is I don't think these softs can make it. But if they do make it, they're not going to be competitive.
Yeah, that's what I think Nolan is trying to hold up SSR Wraith so that way Silkweaver can catch up as Master Plane is going to get past Sweller. Sweller's going to fight back on the exit of turn number 4. They're going to go side by side as Sweller is going to stay there, backs out of it in turn number 7. Yeah, you can just look at the
Wraith.
ERS difference though between the top 3 drivers. Top 4 drivers actually, sorry, as holy cow has spun again.
This exit of turn 7 into turn 8 may have clipped that exit curb. If that is possible, or if that is what happened, it most likely will not have his temperature for a couple corners. He has to be careful of that. Wraith is within 2/10 now of the McLaren in front. If it wasn't going to happen 2 laps ago when he tried, it's going to try to happen now. No Limit's going to have to use everything he's got to hold this Red Bull behind. Once again, the DRS active for the Red Bull team. Here he goes. Wraith is going to be so much more speed. The overspeed is going to get him way past the McLaren into turn 1 and back up into P1 for the Red Bull of SSR Wraith.
Yeah, that move was coming in due time as Sweller's going to get past Master Plane going into turn 1 again.
Looks like this time it's going to stick.
I think these two are probably going to battle it out for the rest of the race, but I could be wrong. Because Master Plane is on those harder compound tires, as Sweller's Stream is on those softer mediums, so he could pull a gap as he spun on the exit of turn 4. on his hards.
Looks like he kept it out of the barriers. No visual damage that I can see. That's not going to help him, though. The next couple of corners. Now Tweaking is going to be in the fray. Same with Mitz Bowman, who actually got past, I believe, someone as well. Holy Cow has pitted onto the softs, probably going for a fastest lap attempt. But you have to be in the top 10 to get that fastest lap point. So that could take it away from the driver who has it at the moment, which is the guy in second, No Limit EQ.
Yeah, that brings back to, I think it was 2018 at Singapore when Kevin Magnussen got the fastest lap outside of the top 10. And I believe he holds as race that's the new fastest lap. As No Limit is going to fight back on the outside of turn number 1. Both of them going to break very late. They're going to go side by side. Can No Limit get the switchback? Are going to do a little bit of wheel touching as they still bump wheels. As neither driver has the DRS, as No Limit is going to get the move done before turn number 4.
Now here's the thing, when they made that contact, did they have any wing damage? That's going to be huge. If those drivers got wing damage, doesn't matter about their tire or their tire strategy, their entire pace goes out the window. We'll have to keep that in mind. We'll monitor those two drivers compared to Silkweaver as the coming race goes on. Silkweaver has to worry about his tires, but he doesn't worry about the car behind. Toneless Death 1.2, car behind him. Sweller 5.2 behind him. Masterplane is 5/10 behind the Alfa Romeo. Sweller, looks like those two are going to be battling the rest of the Grand Prix, like you said. That's going to be race control penalty, I believe.
I just got on board to see Plane spinning on the exit of turn number 10. He's going to drop down into P8. And I believe the closest battles to keep our eyes on now is P1 and P2 and maybe P3 battle.
We'll see. Whoa! Looks like Limit lost a little bit of time and almost lost the car in the exit. That's going to be yellow flag again to Biz at turn 11. No Limit kind of breaking the toe again all the way to the far right. What happened there?
The Silkweaver is slowly catching these two guys ahead. As the Biz is spun again, his tires are really warm at the moment. He's going to have to be careful.
He may need to box for a new set like Holy Cow did behind him.
I think he's just trying to bide his time right now. He's going to save ERS and he's going to wait to pounce on No Limit.
He's going to have to do 32% for the Red Bull compared to the 25 for the McLaren, almost even for those two in the top two. 5 laps to go at this coming strike of the start-finish line. DeBiz has retired in the pit lane, but that's not going to stop Wraith trying to look down the inside of No Limit in turn 11. He doesn't get there. Backs out of that move.
Look at Silkweaver though. Silkweaver 2.2 seconds flat, 2 Wraith ahead.
It's going to be close. Can Silkweaver get there in time? And if he can, how much tire does he have left? We'll have to figure that one out. 5 laps remain here in the Bahrain Grand Prix for Tier 2. No Limit's being undercharged. Toneless Death has pitted. No Limit's going to be undercharged again. Or on the outside, he's going to look late braking from the Red Bull and the McLaren. Both of them kind of equal going into the braking zone. No Limit stays ahead in the turn 2 and 3. The DRS goes to the Red Bull again in the turn 4.
I completely missed Toneless Death pitting.
Around the outside of turn 4, the Red Bull will go. Off the track he goes. Will that be a warning? Contact again with the Red Bull and the McLaren. And a penalty for Wraith as well. That's not going to help him.
No, I think he's trying to get this move done. He's fighting it as hard as he can. Oh, boy.
Almost loses the car.
That was a save.
With all this,
I gotta give him credit for that.
With all this happening now, look who's now in the fray. 4/10 adrift of DRS. Silkweaver is not out of this. And I think the softs can make it. If they've gone this far, I think they can make it.
I'm not seeing anywhere on the back of the softs on either Silkweaver or No Limit at the moment. These tires still have a little bit of life in them.
Here's the thing, I think these guys may have damage too, which is going to be extremely beneficial for Silkweaver. He can get there. 3/10 the drift. Here comes No Limit again, breaking the toe. Wraith using the button. He's going to go to the left-hand side with the DRS into P1. A lot easier. But McLaren later on the brakes at turn 1, but that's going to give Wraith the lead. But now with that penalty, he needs to get going.
Yeah, I think that's going to be tough for him too. But, like you were saying, Silkweaver right there in P3. So as long as these two, as Wraith is going to get another 3-second time penalty.
That is 6 seconds applied to his race time. Meaning, right now, is going to be a McLaren 1-2.
I'm wondering if that glitched, because I just checked the race director. And he got 4 warnings last lap and then 2 warnings this lap.
Well, that's 6 warnings.
But I wonder if that's all in the same corner.
It may have been.
Gotta love Cody's. Anyways, back to the race. I believe Silkweaver, No Limit is just trying to stay with Wraith, but I don't think he can. He's 1.1 seconds behind, out of DRS. I believe pretty much equal ERS, as well as Silkweaver is now 2 seconds adrift of this gap, this group.
Let's keep the gap to leader up now. Remember, 6 seconds is the gap that Wraith needs to stay in P1. He has 3 seconds so far to Silkweaver, meaning No Limit is going to be ahead. Silkweaver is going to be 3 seconds ahead of the Red Bull at McLaren 1-2. He will be P3. He has about, 3 laps or so as the Ferrari grabs the fastest lap. That's Toneless Death.
Yeah, I think Swellowstream is just trying to keep his car out of trouble, keep it in P4, same with Chunky, pretty much the whole field. I think the only big losers at the moment is going to be Masterplane, who's going to drop from P7 to P8, and Tweaking. Wow, Tweaking, no, never mind, I lied. Wraith is going to lose a couple positions due to that penalty that he got.
We'll have to see. He's going to have enough time unless the tires on both McLarens drop off tremendously in the final 2 laps. It's going to be the penultimate lap, this time by lap 28 of 29. Remember, a season ago, a Red Bull took the checkered flag, got the win demoted from him, only for it to be promoted him back to P1. So it could happen again this season. We'll have to figure that one out. 4 seconds is what he needs over No Limit. He needs about 2 or so over Silkweaver.
Yeah, and you can keep on board with Silkweaver and No Limit. The fronts and the rears. The rears are more of what you can see of the tire wear. The fronts are a little bit, but the rears of the tires you want to keep an eye on here. This Wraith has a 4.1 second gap to Silkweaver now, 4.0. He's kind of fluctuating there between 4 seconds and 4.1, is now up to 4.3.
It's going to be tough. I just don't think there's going to be enough time for the Red Bull driver to get the 6 seconds he needs, at least from No Limit. He has a possibility if he completely pushes the final lap and a half. He could possibly get P2 and steal it from Silkweaver once more. About 4.8 seconds the gap between first and third, 3.4 between first and second. We'll have to figure that one out. There's going to be 1 lap to go at this time by.
And Silkweaver is almost in the DRS range of his teammate, so his teammate might be able to pull him along and stay within that 6 second range of SSR Wraith ahead.
It's going to be crucial that Silkweaver does not get in that DRS race for Wraith's sake. But now we go on to the final lap of the Grand Prix. SSR Wraith leads both McLarens. No Limit ahead of Silkweaver. No Limit started down in P10. He's up 8 positions. What a great podium this would be. Even better win if he could grab it. He has to hold on for about 2 seconds, so it actually is possible. 4 seconds the gap between first and second. He could hold on. Wraith could grab this. The tires may be getting off for the two McLarens.
Yeah, Silkweaver is now within 1 second of his teammate No Limit. Oh, this is going to be close.
Close indeed. A warning, I believe, and a penalty for someone else. It may have been... Can't see.
That is Holy Cow picking up 3-second time penalty.
Thank you.
Yeah, Silkweaver is 7/10 behind his teammate. 6/10 now, so this is definitely going to come down to the line to see if SSR Wraith can keep P1 or P2 rather for that moment, or for that matter. At the moment,
Right
it
now,
looks like
6.3.
Yeah, at the moment, it looks like No Limit will pick up the win.
Let's see. 2 more corners. SSR Wraith came up from Tier 3 a season ago. He's shown a lot of pace through Tier 3 and so far into Tier 2. Like a season ago, a Red Bull will come across the line off of turn 15, activating the ERS and everything he has. He's going to win the Bahrain Grand Prix on track. Will he get it off track too? 6.2 seconds. It looks like he's going to hold on. 0.3 of a second. SSR Wraith will win the Bahrain Grand Prix ahead of No Limit from 10th to 2nd, 8 positions up. Silkweaver grabs P3, Sweller's team to P4, Chunky Snags, a great finish for him. 17 laps on his mediums. He grabs P5, Mozzie, 18 laps on his mediums. He grabs P6, Toneless Death gets P7 ahead of Master Plane's penalty. Tweaking will come across P9 with Miss Bowman coming across P10, but I don't think since he's not in the race, he may not grab that point. It may be Holy Cow.
Yeah, really well done there from SSR Wraith to build that gap in the last, I think it was 4 laps on the 2 McLarens.
It may be a last lap fastest lap push, I believe, for Cowell if he can, because this will probably get him an extra point, because he probably will get P10 on the road. Will he grab it? No, he won't. Driver of the day goes to No Limit, which is definitely deserved, from 10th to 2nd. 8 positions gained. He started on those mediums, and it was all in the rearview mirror after that. But once again, McLaren, excellent teamwork and pace, 2-3, but it's all about the Red Bull today. SSR Wraith from pole to victory for the Red Bull team in Bahrain.
Yeah, really well managed race, like you were saying, earlier from Wraith. You know, getting those penalties, it's gonna hurt him, and then overcoming it for 0.3 of a second.
If you could invite those 3 to the booth, we'll have our podium interviews.
I can figure out which buttons to push.
Once again, SSR Wraith will win the Bahrain Grand Prix ahead of both McLaren's No Limit and Silkweaver, but McLaren 2-3 for the first time in a long while. Swell Steam in P4 in the Alfa Romeo. Chunky Snags P5, Mozzie in P6, Toneless Death P7, Master Plane in P8 with Tweaking P9. Miss Bowman running at the top 10, but that may not hold. Holy Cow P11. We have lost DeBiz, Gargi Oregano, and Broken Reptile. All 3 drivers DNF from the Grand Prix, but so far, through 1 Grand Prix, the ex-Constructors champions from a season ago and McLaren looks like the ones to beat. Alrighty, guys. I believe you have all. You need to grab who?
Missing Wraith at the moment.
Whenever he joins, we can get this underway. You 2 so far that are here, if you can, whenever we go to you, click the box that will include your audio. We really appreciate it. Would you like to do P2 and P3, Redeemer, and I'll do P1, or what do you want to do?
I'll do P3 and then P2 as we wait for SSR Wraith to join. Silkweaver, will go to you first as you finish P3. As Gatra said, please make sure your audio has been included. great P3, man. Pushing those last couple of laps after that safety car, trying to get through the field from, I believe it was P7 or P8. Walk us through it. What was going through your head at the final couple of laps?
Yeah, I think it was lap 3 laps to go, 4 laps to go. I kind of had a feeling that the softs were gonna die and Wraith was just gonna pull ahead. Because I think we stopped the safety car was lap 14, 15, 14, 15 laps on softs. It's probably pushing the limit, but I don't know. I'm just happy to be P because I spun in the first
Yeah,
set.
I
So
saw your spin.
and the safety car saved me. Yeah, safety car really saved me.
Yeah, that didn't get to see what happened with your spin. Did you just lose tire
Yeah, I just
grip, or
lost it. Yeah, I just lost grip. Yeah, I just lost grip. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Like I said, really well done. Really well deserved P3. We'll jump up to No Limit. Congratulations to you, sir, from starting P10, finishing P2. Walk us through your race and what your thoughts were going into the final couple of laps and the safety car restart.
Uh, Not much to say. Of course, Wrath had the pace. I thought I was gonna get it, but our tires were just pretty much done. Starting from 10th, didn't really mind it, but yeah, just happy we got a 2-3. I guess it works. But yeah, overall not a bad race. Trying to push, but yeah, not much to say
Yeah,
about it.
you and Wraith were battling pretty hard there. At the
Yeah.
end, did you pick up any damage on your front wing or at all, or no?
No, I was fine. I was just doing my best to defend. I knew his mediums were gonna come in at the end. At that point where we were battling fucking the sorry for my language. The soft and mediums were pretty much the same level of speed, so yeah, I kind of had a feeling that was gonna happen at the end. Tried to stay in the 6 seconds, but didn't seem to work. But yeah.
Yeah, the softs really died out on you and Silkweaver there. Catcher, will go to you for P1.
Congrats to both of you on your podiums with McLaren's, coming from a season of triumph with the Constructors' Championships, already showing off a lot of pace. But now it's all about the winner. From pole to victory in SSR Wraith. Once again, a season ago, you're not the first Red Bull to win in the Sakir circuit. Well, now Wraith, you're now the second in a row. How does that make you feel? What's going on right now through your mind? First win in Tier 2.
Yeah, it's crazy. I was surprised that I got pole, and then after that, for the start of the race, I had a really good start. Tried to make the most of that, and then the safety car came out, so I tried to make the medium just go to the end, and then I saw other people in soft, so I was debating whether I was on the right strategy, and then obviously when I got those 6 seconds, I thought it was over because I knew my mediums would kick in at the end, but 6 seconds is tough to pull out of. So, but yeah, we got the win in the end. So it was a really good race. It was really close. So yeah, I'm happy with it.
Well, that's great. Once again, your first win in Tier 2, second in a row at Bahrain for Red Bull. Well, it started off a little bit. What was your take on some of the banging, the wheel-to-wheel collisions with you and No Limit? From us, it sounded like it was just a great battle between you two. Is there anything that you could have done differently throughout the race, especially during that battle? Because it was very aggressive and very fun to watch.
Um, yeah, maybe been more calm. I could have played it smarter where I could have stayed behind him the whole time, which maybe I was trying to do a little bit, maybe a few laps before I was trying to get out 6 seconds. Just I could have probably just stayed behind him and then waited until the sauce ran out, but um, yeah, I was just thinking about trying to win the race, so yeah, I probably could have been a little bit smarter, but I mean it's all good.
Well, there's smart and there's just outright pacey, and that's one thing you had throughout the race, and it's one definite thing that no one can take away is that pace you had, and that's one thing that's going to be remembering for a while. But once again, congrats on your Tier 2 win and your first so far in BRL. at Tier 2. You had a couple last season, I believe. Was I mistaken with that?
No.
Okay, well, this is your first BRL victory then. Congrats on that.
Alright, thank you.
Well, I believe that should be it from myself, Heycatcher, and LDR Redeemer up in the booth, alongside with our podium sitters with Silkweaver, with with No Limit, and with SSR Wraith. I'm blanking. Anyways, from ourself up in the Tier 2 commentating booth, it has been a fun and a pleasure, but don't go anywhere. In not too long from now, and actually about 40 minutes or so, Tier 1 will hit the grounds and hit the ground running at the streets of Sakira as well, and the sandy beaches and the sandy dunes of the Sakira circuit in Bahrain. So don't go anywhere. Tune in for that race. You'll have a fun time. Mitchie is going to be your commentator, and you're going to have a fun time with that. Redeemer, aren't you joining him?
Yes, I will be there for Tier 1 as well.
If you want to hear his voice, tune in for that too. But from myself, once again, Heycatcher and LDR Redeemer, and all of Tier 2, we once again wish you a good night, and thank you for watching.